Let me demonstrate how fast and intuitive Squarespace can be and why I recommend this over WordPress to solo entrepreneurs. WordPress is a great platform, but I don't think it was ever designed for solo entrepreneurs. The example today is going to be my own website that I accidentally screwed up. Yes, I'm the techie and I screwed up my own website. But this is a brilliant opportunity to show you how fast I can recreate my homepage, my landing page. My website is basically a one-page website. For my aid, I will be using the Wayback Machine from archive.org, the Internet Archive, and I loaded a state of my website that was prior to me screwing up my website. So I will be copy pasting a lot of things from here, which of course will make things easier. But if you're creating a new website and you already have your Word copy, then it's similarly easy, fast. Of course, you will have to deal with the design elements, but that's another thing. That is also pretty fast on Squarespace. Now, my website is nothing fancy. It's really minimalistic. But I think that's what solopreneurs need. They don't need more. So anyway, back to Squarespace. So I will just quickly create a new blank page. We will do it from scratch. Home, I will call it 2025 because recording this in 2025 January. So this is empty page. I will just click edit. And now we can start adding sections. We'll just add a blank section and we'll start copying. Now each of the sections, the style settings basically live under the colors, and I know this was set to bright. Let me grab some text. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was 2 blocks of text. So I will just add a block of text that I can freely shape. Actually, it's copying the formatting, so that's great. And copy that. And actually, I will do my website updates on the fly. Rebuilding my homepage is a great opportunity to do that. So it's not for UK and EU time zones anymore. So let's delete that. Let me see, it was like this long, and I think this was set to the bottom of that spacey thingy. This is how I achieved that lean line space, and that was an image of me. Well, luckily, you can just add an image block, and luckily this photo is already uploaded, so I can just select it from my library. Those are photos for the testimonials. We will get there. There it is. There, and I think it was bigger. Yeah, it was. So you can see if I hit the G key on the keyboard that now my space is limited. I think this was set to, what am I doing? Section, edit section, and I think it was set to, it was set up manually, basically. Actually, you know what? No, this is what I want. I will set the height completely manually, set these in the center, and make this look a bit more even. Okay, that's good enough. Let's add a new blank section. Add the blank section. So this is the pace we can maintain with Squarespace. This is why I love it. Basically, we will be just adding text boxes and image boxes. My website, as I said, is pretty minimalistic. And now here I have the advantage of some of the text, the formatting of the text copying somewhat properly from the old one. Now this did not copy, like the coloring did not copy, so let me just quickly, actually, you know what, let's start from scratch and let's do the colors first. So simplify was highlighted with the on-brand blue, business tech and media content, business tech, media content workflows. That was it. And simplify was underlined with different type. Was it this one? Yeah, it was that one of underlining. So that was available just from the text menu. That's it. Okay, we can skip the next one because that was like I did not have any openings and I just wanted to say that. So what is this? This is again text, text box, image box. It's pretty straightforward. In a new section, add a blank section, text, text, oops, image, and it was a larger text and a smaller image, basically. It ended about there. It's about that. Actually, I measured with my fingers on the putting my fingers on the screen, just matching the borders of these elements up. Great. So now I can just copy that here, copy that here. And of course, if you have your website copy pre-written, then it's copy paste like here. Oops, it should be something like that. And this image, what is this image? Computers. This should be, you would be clicking upload file, but I will just select it from my library because it was already uploaded. So I can just select it from my library, click add. Hopefully it will appear. And I think for these, I set these to content design to fill. So it maintains the rectangular form. I think the grid size was set to something different, but it's good enough for now. And so I see that this was with the white background. So this, if I go to edit this section, we color, set the colors to the, it was this one. Yes. And actually, this could be broken down into more sections. I will just copy these. I just selected those and hit Control or Command D on the keyboard. If you're on a Mac, it's Command D, it's Control D on the PC. And actually, let's do the text first. So the second one is this. The third one is this. The fourth one is this. And film strip cogs. So the bottom one was film strip. Oh, no. Replace the image from my library. The film strip. Now this will be off screen because it's cropped, but it's really easyable. It's really easyable. Love that phrase. It's easyable on Squarespace. Easily doable. You can just point to whichever part of the image you like on here, and it will use that one. What was this? The cogs, right? So I will click replace. Cogs. Add. What's the next one? It's the browsers. Still loading. Sometimes I don't know if I click away while it's still loading. Sometimes my experience is sometimes it doesn't finish changing the image, but sometimes it does. So ignore that if it works for you. My internet tends to be a bit slower during my evening time. in this neighborhood, but that's just on my end. Okay, that's looking nice and pretty close to the original one. Let's go to the next one. Again, I just add the blank section. I check, this is that color, I think. Color, it's, maybe it's like, I don't know, we will see. So again, text box, text box, text box. 3 text boxes. Add a block, add a text box. Actually, I think this is centered text. And let's see. It starts, it's actually not centered. It starts here on my screen. Okay. Actually, I see that the borders were set to, I think that's manual because of the image that will go on the left-hand side, but we will, oops, not layouts. We will talk about that. So I actually set it out of fill screen, and I will set this up manually. So the text was actually left justified. It starts about there, pun intended. Now let's copy these text boxes. These are 2 separate text boxes. That's how you create a 2-column setup on like most website platforms, but certainly on Squarespace. That's how we roll. So it ends about here. It's actually slimmer here. Okay, it even breaks the text on the same space, which is expected, but again, I will just select it, Command D. Oops, no, that just bookmarked it. Command D again. That was my... By the way, I'm using the browser called Opera. I love it. I've been using this. I started using it, I don't know, ages ago, back in high school. It was more than 15 years ago. I know, I'm young. And the image on the left-hand side, well, I can try and see if what image do you have? Squarespace image asset.jpg. That doesn't help. I will just guess then. What could have been on the left-hand side? It says about my beloved clients. I think it was this actually. It's a stock photo, but it kind of I think it was even a built-in image for Squarespace. It's not even from a stock photo website. I think. Well, sort of like that. Maybe I will maybe second guess myself later, but for now it's good. So it was just computer and tech and minimalistic, and warm lights, and that's me on that image. I wish I had an office space like that, but I'm a bit more ADHD than that. So my office space, you're happy you don't see. You can be happy you can't see my office space. So I just made that full height. This is why we needed to turn off this full screen option, which is, by the way, I love using that, but in these cases I had to do this. Okay, what's next? It's basically the same, but in reverse. So what I will do is I will duplicate this whole section, change the colors first to this one, grab these to the left-hand side, grab the image on the right-hand side, and I will just quickly, again, match it up with literally with my fingers on my screen. It's that low-tech, this copy-pasting process right now. So the About Me starts, if I hit G, remember, if you hit G, the grid appears, so you can eyeball it a bit more easily. Okay, that's fine. I will just copy this column. I think I changed column width. maybe not during between these two sections. I have that faint memory, but maybe I did not. Maybe I was sticking with the original design. Okay, and this should be again that height. Actually, for now, I will leave smaller spacing there. I will see at the end when it's finished. Weird extra stuff to the JPEG. Oh, actually, so that was the original name then. So I will come back in here and let's see, what is this called? It's so built in, it doesn't even have a thingy. Now let's see. Didn't even rename, these are from Unsplash. Didn't even rename these. Maybe this is the one? That seems like weird random stuff for whatever the name for the image was. Let's see. Actually, no. I remember. That was this weird extra. It was there right in front of my. It's my own little collage of mementos of my life, from my life. My little TEDx talk, my camera technician role in June, other series, my love for tabletop role-playing games and me running a streamed role-playing game and stuff like that. I have some hobbies, yes. Okay, the next one, my approach. This is kind of a custom one. So again, new section, blank section, and you know what? No, I will reuse some of the elements from this. I will duplicate this section. We don't need the image. I will duplicate this, Command D, or you can hit that duplicate button. So I did have 3 columns and they look like they were organized a bit differently. Let's see, it starts there, it ends here, that's fine. This one starts a little bit more to the left, ends here. It's about right. And the last one is more or less okay. So, and there's an odd one below. So that's ooh, and let's change the colors. I think I used this. Looks like I used it. That. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And this is now a good topic to talk about meanwhile I'm doing this. I always suggest to have your website copy before you start designing, having designed, or having your website designed, or designing your own, or looking for templates. Because what I've seen again and again and again with my clients, and actually with myself as well, is then you pick a nice template or you have a nice design created for you and you realize, oh wait, but I want to have more text. Like I want this amount of text, and I want this amount of text to fit on one fold, like one screen. And it's so much more difficult to do that after, once you got a design that was designed for little text, or maybe it was designed for a lot of text, but you have little text, or you have a lot of images, but the design is for text only, or the design is full of images, but you don't have any images of you and you working and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind. Actually, this one, this one can go back to the full screen. Maybe a small. I know now I will deal with the spacing later. That's off right now. What else? My prices, which actually kind of changed meanwhile. It got more expensive and cheaper at the same time. It's funny. Actually, I'm lazy. I will just duplicate this. Feeling lazy today. back to this, and we just need 2 boxes here. Don't need that. This will be, let's see, I will just match it with Wi-Fi approach. Starts here. No, actually here. Yes. Text box starts the same, on the same square. Actually comes to this, and this is going to be a special one. We'll do that in a second. So my price range. There. Da, 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 da. There. And this one actually will say $75, but not per hour. That's the change. Actually, you know what? I'm curious about the formatting. So let's see. This is heading 1. This is heading 3. 90 minutes. I will check grammar-wise. Check that grammar-wise, but. And actually, here's a trick I usually use. If I want to center this to the center of this, I will just make both of the text boxes the same height, then set this to center. And I think it looks like the other one was, no, this is bolded. This looks bigger. Maybe not. No, actually not. And I will set this to small spacing, and I will deal with the spacing later. Okay, what else? Oh yes, we are a fit if, we are not a fit if, and then testimonials. Okay, there is still some left to go. I might change some of this. Most of it is intact, like it did not change. I will do the same again. I will copy this. I will, where has my internet gone? Yeah, it's a good reminder to hit save every now and then, because now if this page freezes, I'm screwed. It says I want more in Hungarian. My little soul sloth. Now, this is a funny one. It's saved now. It looks like it's saved. So let's try and duplicate this now. Okay, now it worked. Maybe it was just my internet having a hiccup. Okay. What do I need? 2 titles, so I will duplicate that. Oh, come on. I always. And just 2 text boxes. Let me align those. Actually, you know what? Since this is a 2-line thingy, I will. Oops. I will copy paste those first. And okay, so let's work together if. Looks like the whole thing starts a bit more inwards. Yeah. One thing to remember in Squarespace is never have boxes overlap. It doesn't matter if it's an image or a text box. Usually it's text boxes that do the weird stuff, but never let those overlap. It's if someone is looking at your website on a different screen size, that's when it's causing a problem, and it can cause big problems visually. Okay, actually, I'm not a big fan of this section. I mean, the formatting of the text, but hey, I think it will be fine for now. All in all, we are recreating this now and can do some changes on the fly, but bigger decisions I don't want to do that while I am. By the way, this is the way to get rid of those extra lines. And if it's accidentally larger, some of the boxes, then it will not let you. So make sure you make these bounding boxes tight to the ending of the text, and then it will work. I will do with the top and bottom spacing afterwards. Okay, that works. Testimonials. Now this is 3-column setup. Maybe I could copy this. It's not quite like this, but yeah. And you can move a copied section or any section. These little buttons. Move it down. Move it even further down. And it has the white color scheme. And it's called What People Say. It looks like it has narrower columns. Starts about here. Well, you know what? Actually, let's match that one. The first, again, I'm just targeting with my fingers on the screen. It starts there. It ends there. Ends there. And let's see if it would. The great Ted Hargraves little quote, which is, I'm humbled by this quote. Starting Peter is a fucking tech wizard. Thank you, Ted, if you would ever watch this video. Okay, and then the image on top of it, which I remember it was. Actually, you know what? No. Let's do the text blocks first. It's match the, like, where they start. Yeah, it's like, it's one to the left and this. And this is what I love about Squarespace. This grid system can feel like, oh, but then I cannot set my, I don't know, a sizing to 76.5%. Yes, but it's so much easier to think in this grid and like, okay, I will leave one empty row of boxes in between my columns, or two, or whatever. It's so much easier to think in those terms, especially for someone who's not a designer. And solo entrepreneurs rarely are. So, okay, actually, now let's copy the text. My other favorite, George Cow. Check out their stuff if you don't know them. I guess if you watch this video, if you're watching this video, you know them. But anyways, Pam Sorelis is also great if you want to have your, oops, that's, so she's working with the writers. I just see that that's broken into. So if you're a writer, I highly recommend her. She's got a lot of experience. Okay, and let's do the images. So I just add an image block, and I know who's who. So I know I just need one unit, international unit of Ted Hargrave. And now here comes the trick. I think it was set like this, centered above the text, and the design was set to shape, and the default shape is a circle, but you can set it to something else. I think it was like that, but maybe with some extra spacing. Again, like, you can think in empty squares, which is pretty cool. So much easier than the traditional pixels and percentages and row heights and da-da-da-da. Okay, so I will duplicate this format because the format of the image is already good. But now we will just change the images, respectively, to, looking for one international unit of George Cow, and one great Pam Sorelis. Where are you, Pam? Here. Great. And now the trick is I have two more. Actually, I have so much more, but I'm just too lazy to keep this updated. I will just duplicate this whole combination, drag it down, leave some extra spacing, and just copy the text. So this is Grace Young. There. And I think I use their logo because they are family-run business. So here, Jen Yang, Metamorphosis. And in this case, having it set to shape and actually to feel will not work. I have to set it to fit because I want the whole logo to fit in there. And luckily their logo is kind of circular, so it's awesome. It fits my design. And Janet Hill is the last one. And by the way, Jen Yang and Janet Hill, they work on the intuitive and spiritual side of the spectrum, and I can highly recommend them, both of them, with great experience over their shoulders. How do you say that in English? Anyway, they have a huge bank of experience, so highly recommend working with them. All right, this section is set up, by the way. Click save. Never forget to click save. And I have this nice, and that's it. I added that block, that section, when this website was even shorter, so it looked cool, like it's a really short website, and then at the end I can say, and that's it. Now it's it kind of borderline works. It's on the edge. It looks like this one is, the font there is bigger. I don't really want to set it to heading 1, and it was not a heading 1. And it is bolded, so anyway, that's fine. These are the small tweaking stuff that can waste someone's time a lot. No one else will notice this. But us solo entrepreneurs are often caught in the perfectionism trap, and I'm trying to avoid that consciously right now. And oh, nice, let's set it to center so it looks a bit more centered. And actually, I think it's like that, and this set to maybe I did that manually. I can't remember. Anyway, that will work. So now I will do one thing. I will quickly look at the spacing. So I just scrolled up. I think I used a bit more space. I actually wonder if I set it too small. That works here. Yeah, that actually works here. Maybe it was even medium. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I used, more or less. That's fine. That's about fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I only don't like the bottom edge of it, so I will just make this one row squares larger. Match the image. Great. By the way, if you're wondering, that's a TV series called Jamestown from the creators of Downton Abbey. I highly recommend that. I was a camera trainee and technician back then. I loved shooting that one. And the same here. I think it's yeah, just 2 more rows on the bottom. Maybe 3. Actually, I will set this to being centered, and then it looks fine. This does absolutely not look great. Maybe this will work. So you can see I'm actually mix and matching. You know what? Let's be precise. So I will only use the manual setup for the image ones because that's a little neat design trick I do there. But for the text ones, I actually prefer to set it to the automatic spacing thingy. Turn on fill screen and set the height to your taste. It actually does a lot of things in the background. I don't like fiddling with it too much, so that's why I love leaving it there. Yes, it has been pros and cons, but whatever. Yeah, I think I would just use that medium setting. Sure, there's something happened there, so we should check that. I will use that medium setting throughout the site, and except the whole page image ones, because that's a trick that I cannot do with that. So here, the only thing that happened is, no, actually, interesting. There's a setting here. If you set it to stretch, but it was not set to stretch, that was a stuck bit in the system. Okay. There, and that's it. I recreated my whole one-page website, literally from, well, sort of from scratch, using the Wayback Machine. And that's it. This is why I love Squarespace. Because if I'm meeting with a client and they tell me something like, let's try this image on the left-hand side, and instead of a circle, let's make it square, da, 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 da. I can literally work in the same speed as you've seen here today. Of course, we have to preset the fonts, the color schemes, but once that's done, it's this easy. And I never experienced any website builder that was this fast. And this is why I love using it. And you've seen the drag and drop and how easy it is to use. This is why I recommend it to solo entrepreneurs, because solo entrepreneurs, in my opinion, shouldn't train themselves in web design, web development, bug hunting, web server maintenance, on all of those stuff. But we often do, because we hear, oh yeah, use WordPress. And WordPress is great, but not when you are running your own business alone and you're already overwhelmed with your marketing, social media, delivering to your clients. Hey, you need time for that as well. Writing your own copy, doing the market research, and next to that, you want to learn how to maintain a WordPress website that was like, it's easy to maintain in two scenarios. One, you're a web developer. The second one is you really go minimalistic. If you go minimalistic, WordPress is great. If you want to customize stuff a little bit more, it's not for you then. If you want to go with WordPress, then go with WordPress.com, which is hosted for you. So at least you don't have to worry about the hosting. Or go with a web hosting provider that actually offers the service to maintain your website for you, and a provider who can do even design changes for you on your WordPress website. Because truly solo entrepreneurs should not learn this. This is complex, it takes years, and it's a nightmare. It comes with so much frustration. And actually, I have a recommendation here in my footer, business in the UK called HubFizz, that can do that for you. All right, so I think that's it. We recreated this. I think I will add a couple of new things in here. Maybe not today. I think this is good enough for now. Yeah, that's it. If you need help with Squarespace, reach out to me. I work with solo entrepreneurs and with their business tech and content creation, media content creation workflows. And yeah, I'm happy to help. And this is also what I love about this. So many of my clients have this problem where they had their website designed. It's in WordPress. A designer did that for them. And after that, the designer will not have the time to do the weekly, monthly tweaks, those small things that they can barely ask any money for. And in Squarespace, you can do them yourselves. I'm confident you will learn this. And it's like that. It's really drag and drop. And I've been fiddling with websites for, I think, over 20 years. And yes, I'm not too old. I started young. Yeah, and this is the first one I've ever seen that worked this well. So, okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful and insightful. And thanks for helping me virtually with body doubling, helping me to recreate my own website, because if I was not recording this, I would have postponed it for a couple more weeks, and that's not healthy when I'm running a business to have a under construction website as my business homepage. So that's it. Okay. Have a lovely day, and hopefully see you around.